I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is recorded today. Also pay respects to the elders past and present, and extend that respect to any other Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who may be listening today. This is Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast designed to give an insightful look into the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. All right, everyone, we are back. My name's Ri'chard.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is Melanated in Melbourne.
Melanated in Melbourne.
She's back. Everyone's voice is back. We're fully...
We are back. She had a full night's sleep.
A full night's sleep. Oh, look at you.
She put herself to bed at 12.
12 is actually early for Nicole, for anyone who's unsure. But before we get too far into things, we do have a very special guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. It's me, D Flowers.
Yay!
Yay!
Woo! We love her!
I love you, baby. I love you.
We are so very happy to have you. For those who don't know, D Flower is my drag auntie, because I was not allowed to say drag mother.
Yes.
Like
Love.
actually, my first two drag experiences, you did my face, and it was fantastic. The amount of compliments I got, which was like top tier, all the way through. And again, whenever you're ready to go again, I am ready to go as well, because why not?
I need to practice some more. I'm not a makeup artist, but I can practice on your face.
You are a makeup artist. You are a makeup artiste. How dare you? First of all, how dare you?
Don't do that. Don't be lying on the podcast. Hold up now.
We will fact check. Once this comes out, we're posting all the evidence. Like Exhibit A,
Please.
Exhibit B,
Let
Beyonce.
the receipts show that is completely false. You know how to do makeup.
I mean, it's not the same when you're doing it on someone else's face, because everybody's face is very different.
That's true.
That I do understand.
Learning how to work with different people.
Different face shapes and all that. No, that's fair. But no,
fair.
absolutely happy to get all the practice in possible. But one of the things I wanted to start off with, because I've been holding on to this story for a while, I have a rant and a rave.
Ooh.
Let's do it. Let's just get into it.
Let's do it.
So I want to, because obviously we've been talking about doing recurring things, but there's so many things like, well, you're excited about something, you can rave about it. But if you have a rant, like I'm tired of this shit. I have both for one particular event. I went to Gay Times 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yes, the time of gay.
The time of gay, and I have never been to Gay Times before. For our listeners, Gay Times is essentially just a 3-day festival. It's like an hour outside of Melbourne. Very cute, very camp, super queer. I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. I've never seen so many queer women or people who identify as women. Like, because again, there's no female presenting clubs in Melbourne. Like, there's no, I don't know what they're doing, but they're not at Circuit and things. So it just, honestly, it brought the vibe to like a 101. Like,
That's beautiful. That's good.
Yeah.
great community, a lot of local artists. It was absolutely fun. 10 out of 10 will go again, and I don't camp. Outside is not my friend.
No.
They have glamping tents. It was hella cute. They had little mattresses inside. It was all made up for you. My hard day of being outside and sweating. It was luxurious. However, my rant. One of the things for having this podcast, there's been a lot of people who are like, oh, why do you need to have a show about the Black experience in Australia? What's the purpose of that? Well, it's so funny that you asked that, because on the very first day, we arrived to the campus, all cute, great, and wonderful. I'm kikiing because I'm there with my housemate, John, who has now requested his name be Anxious Andy, which I think is... Anxious Andy.
Cutie.
Well, because you haven't heard this yet, but my housemate, he's going to get a lot of stories because he's very interesting. I very much enjoy... he's not like interesting, like, oh, that's interesting.
I was going to say, she sounded...
No, she's interesting. No, just like... Well, one, very anxious. That's why he requested Anxious Andy. I'm not being shady. He's an anxious person, but also very lovely. So a lot of the antics of us living together, because I lived alone for 2 years.
Yeah.
The little hijinks and antics will be coming to the podcast, but he prefers Anxious Andy. So I went camping with Anxious Andy, and we popped up, and some of his friends and their mutuals, they popped up together. Everyone was already lit, because we got there at 7-ish, and you could arrive from 10 a.m. So some people were lit when we got there. And there was this group of people. One guy, he's fully fine. His little partner, this 5'0" white man, he came up, he's like, oh, I didn't know there were Black people here.
Okay. It's giving, what a beautiful chocolate man.
Oh, I wish it was. I wish it had stopped there. And like, it was weird, because I was stone cold sober. I was like,
Yes.
and I played it off like, oh, that's not possible, because Nefertiti is performing. She's always here, yada, yada. I'm like, oh, there's plenty of us here. And he's like, well, I want you to know that you're welcome here.
What? Okay, why wouldn't that have been?
Nobody asked you that. Like, at no point was I worrying about that until you said something.
Yeah.
Is this slowly integration? Like, am I the first Black person at this camp? What do you mean? And his boyfriend was pulling in his arm, and everyone else was just frozen. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to choose violence in this moment. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
thank you, I guess. And then we walked away. We left it alone because Anxious Sandy and his friend Paris were like, oh, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. So we went to an event where there was a live performance. We're dancing, don't know the music, but it's kind of the thing where the energy is there. And you're like, yeah, let's just go. Why did he come back to me and said, hey, can I talk to you?
Oh, my.
Okay.
I was like, if you must. And he's like, I hope you didn't take offense to what I just said. And he's like, oh, I did. And he's like, well, that's not what I meant. It's like, I don't care what you meant. No one asked for that. And then he raised his finger like, well, you listen to me. And I'm like, And in that moment, I felt my hand doing this. But before anything happened, Andy's friend Paris comes through, like just puts himself between me. I was like, you need to go. And he like just pushes little man. So like, shout out to Paris, absolute legend of an individual. Just dispensed this little, I don't know, what do you want to call him? Dispenser. Didn't see her again the entire festival, but it was just the fact that these things are happening in the year of our Lord 2024. And it's just the amount of, I guess, etiquette people have for just having a conversation with someone outside their race is non-existent.
They don't,
Yeah, I don't even know what it's giving like, nobody else wanted you to be here, but I think it's okay that you're here. It's just like,
I don't care what anyone says, you're cool by me.
Yeah, it's just like a really weird, that's a really weird greeting because we don't need your approval, ho.
No.
We don't need your approval. Who are you? The Wizard of Oz? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Paris coming in and just
stepping in.
No, and that was like a very weird interaction, but Luke, who was just on our podcast, was also there. Luke is another Black person who lives here, and we got to just debrief, and that in itself was very cathartic, because talking to white people about white people doesn't really do what it needs to. Like, oh no, I can't believe they did that. Or
I can't believe my
right. It's like, we're not all like that. I'm so sorry. When you talk to a Black person, are we setting them on fire? Like, it's like, it's the better, like, you're not going to do it, probably. But just having someone there to be like, that's happened to me too, and just relate in a different space. And that's why this is here for other people who have had these experiences to be like, oh shit, actually something like that has happened to me as well, as opposed to, no, Australia's not like that. That's not what this is. Like, but it is. Like, Australia is still great, but she's not perfect. And we're going to talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And almost a perfect segue to that. The, I guess, overarching topic of this is drag scene, especially in Australia. And as I'm going to say the best drag queen in Melbourne.
By far.
Put it on record.
By far.
Thank you.
I know you.
Don't do that.
No,
Hold your hands to your heart. Accept this compliment. Accept it. Do not reject it.
There's always room for growth, but fantastic. The first time I saw you performing, I think it was at the 86, and you were doing Solid Gold from Goldmember with Beyonce.
Yes.
Full gold outfit.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Throwback.
Bitch, I've been here for 7 years. Of course it's the throwback. That was maybe 2018. And I was like, who is that? I need to go talk to her. And it was around the time we were doing staff drag. And I was talking to Vintage, and Vintage was like, oh, let me just introduce you. Because I think you also helped Vintage get into drag. Like, you were the first person to...
I think I lent her like her first wig or something.
Well, that's not the story. Vintage says that you were the one that got her into drag as well, like helped her with her start.
I don't remember.
If not, a first wig is a start.
A first wig is a start.
If you don't even have a wig, you're not doing drag. Let's like
actually down under drag is extra expensive.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
To import everything.
You know what? This is a great first subject, wigs, because it's hard to find some wigs around here.
I miss being in the States.
Oh
just having
my God.
Beauty supply stores on every corner.
Beauty supply stores that have everything you need, and it's like for a reasonable price. Back home, you can get a cute little, even like $20, $30, maybe $40 synthetic wig.
And it's decent
and it's decent quality. It's good fiber. Here, if you want a synthetic wig and it's long, she's going to be about $100, $150.
Yeah, $150, which is mind-boggling. But I guess since I have to import, I mean,
the import. Yeah,
they're coming from Asia, so it's not that far away.
It's I always say I wasn't that far away.
I'll go get it myself.
I will get in a canoe. I will get in a little motorboat, and I will go pick up my wig myself.
How long do you think that's going to take you, Nicole?
I don't believe in time, so it won't take me any. Like, I'll be fine. I can pick it up myself because I don't understand why they're so expensive. It doesn't make sense. And then if you need a wig in a hurry. If you need a wig quickly,
then you struggle. You give up.
You gotta plan everything.
You go bald. You do a bald look. With the quickness, no.
With the quickness, like we have a friend's birthday party next week. It's supposed to be like a doppelganger party, and we are all supposed to be dressing up as each other. And as soon as I found out about like as soon as I found out what the theme was, I was like, let me order my wig now. And I think that was maybe in January or something.
It was weeks ago.
Yes, it's here.
Amen.
It's here. It's like a little Toni Braxton, I'm looking for me a better day.
Yes.
It's like a little short one. It's a short one. I'm ready for her. I'm very excited. Sometimes she's butch. I can't wait to see it.
Wait, so whose party is this? Like, are there other POCs at this party? I'm just concerned.
Yeah. Oh, I know. No. But luckily, this is a good group of friends, so we know that nobody's going to be
they're all
there
well
acting
educated.
stupid.
Okay, good.
Nobody's going to be there acting stupid.
Not a single blackface will be in sight. 'Cause
Yes,
they all know better. If that's what
all.
I know that's what you're worried about. They know better.
Because blackface comes with a free ass whooping.
It does.
So
Blackface
they'll
come
find
with
out.
black eyes. I can let you know that right now. Toll free. You missed the spot, bitch.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So if you wanted to give us your origin story, where you were born, raised, whatever, and also how you got into drag, and then we'll go from there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so everybody thinks I'm from the States because my accent's a little bit all over the place. I kind of get offended when people like ask me. Absolutely not. I don't claim that.
Listen, that's
I
fair.
rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Like, I'm just not from your place.
I don't know them. I don't know her.
I mean, it's
don't
fair.
know her.
I pretend to be an international student now that I got 2 passports. Like, yeah, I went to Melbourne, international school. What do you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, my parents are from Ghana.
Beautiful.
Oh, also, I have a speech impediment, so if I stutter, I'll just play it off. So just FYI to anyone who's listening.
Okay.
So my parents are from Ghana. I was born here. I was born up in Cairns, Queensland, actually.
Oh.
Because we were based in PNG at the time, Papua New Guinea, and I was having breathing issues in the womb. So I was born in Cairns. We were there for like 2 months, and then I moved back to PNG, and I was there until I was about 9. Then I moved to New Zealand with my mom, and I was there for like 4 years, and I got my Kiwi passport. And then I moved to South Africa with my dad for about like half a year, and then he got a new job in the United Arab Emirates.
Oh.
And then I finished high school there.
Oh my gosh.
And then,
Okay.
and then I finished high school, and then I moved to the States for college. I was in the States for like 6 years.
Okay.
And then my student visa expired, and then Trump was coming. Sorry, T-Rod was coming.
Listen, that's right.
And
Gotta go.
I left
know
on my
that's
own
right.
accord. I was like, I'm out. And it was either here or New Zealand because I didn't really have anywhere else to go. So I'm happy I came to Australia because I haven't been to New Zealand since like 2004. So it's actually been a really, really long time. Since I have a Kiwi passport, I'm almost like I'm a PR, so I can work full time. I don't have anything holding me back. So I've just been here ever since. And yes.
Yay.
Amazing.
I love that. I never knew any of that.
Oh, Carmen San Diego, we see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. that's
So
very
within
impressive.
all that traveling around, like where did you start doing drag? Was it in the States? Was it here?
Oh yeah, I started doing drag in the States. So my college, we had an amateur drag show every year.
Oh, cute.
You know, like the LGBT club had like an annual drag show. So I watched for 2 years. I'm like, what are these hoes doing? Like,
Like what? Like it's hard? Let me just get up here and
doing these Beyonce mixes just ain't shit. Like these clothes, you're not spending like your whole pay on like an outfit. Like what are you hoes not doing?
Yeah.
So I competed in my junior year and like I won that year.
Of course.
Clearly.
It's like what? Like it's hard? No competition.
Yeah.
And
Clearly.
then it's been downhill ever since.
Oh my God.
Please.
Absolutely not.
I finished college in the States and I didn't really try that hard to find a job because I had like 2 BAs, 2 Bachelor of the Arts, so it was a bit harder of finding jobs. And I was kind of just doing drag to kind of keep me afloat. So I was doing drag there, and then I moved here. And it was hard to make friends and to meet people because this move was the hardest move because I moved here without my parents or without school. And like I'm trying to meet people without school or like an infrastructure there, like it's hard.
Yep.
And people here are nice to your face, but they're very cliquey.
Absolutely.
They'll be like, oh yeah, you're so nice. And then they won't text you back. They won't call you. They won't hang with you.
Exactly. So I think it was saying how like you just like take up a hobby and then like you'll meet
people through the hobby.
whatever. So I just imported some drag from the States and then I started doing drag. I did baby drag one time and then I got my own night after that.
Wait, bitch, hold on. Wait a minute.
Not she went from baby to grown overnight.
She's like, I was too good for this, so they gave me my own show.
I mean, yeah, I just did Baby Drag one time, and then I was offered my Saturday night gig after that.
Saturday Night Diva, for anyone who is not from Melbourne, Saturday Night Diva was my favorite Saturday night.
Yeah.
And they still use her mix, and I feel.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What do you mean they use
So D-Flowers' intro was like,
it's the Hey Gold, it's the Hey Gold.
Oh, yeah, the Hey Gold
intro,
member.
Yeah.
That song, I can't listen to that
Oh,
song.
no. Let me stop singing it
get
then.
every time. No,
you're like, oh shit, now I gotta go on.
Where's my wig? Where's my wig?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not ready. Which mix am I doing?
Exactly.
What song's about to play? Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I actually did not know that you went from baby drag to that, because in my timeline of understanding things, when you were already performing at the 86 and you already had Saturday Night Diva when I met you, so I didn't know that just before then you were like, I'm done with this. Watch me squats this shit, and then just upgrade into running your own night for years. How long did you run?
I think like 6 years off and on.
Come on.
I mean, like there was COVID wasn't the way, but you know.
Yeah.
But still, like 6 years of
That's
being
still-
the diva.
Yeah, it was quite the time.
I love it. I love it. It was baby drag, and then a new Supreme has emerged.
They're like, move.
Give her a night. I love that.
Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. And one of the things that I really loved, especially during that time, you were the only person of color drag queen I really knew of out and about booking gigs and doing things. Like now there's a lot more, especially the younger queens.
Oh, we have a lot more, which I'm really, really happy about. Yeah, because like it's, as you know, in the arts sector, it's hard being a POC and trying to get bookings and tokenism and other things like that.
Would you like to talk about that at all? We don't have to if you don't want to.
We can for sure. I mean, like, as you're talking about your experiences of acting, like, it's the same thing, because I feel like sometimes I'm getting booked to just be the token black one. I mean, there's like imposter syndrome and stuff like that, but visibility is so important, because I've had some people come up to me and say, oh, it's so great to see you out there, because I've seen you out there. I've been papaya to do stuff like that, and it's just really nice. It really warms my heart, because I don't really see myself as an activist or anything. Like, I'm really bad with all that stuff, but just like being out there and being present in the community is, I feel
it is
all you have to do sometimes, because like it's just hard being a person of color, especially in those queer spaces. Like and at night it can be really toxic and really
people will be drunk and saying really awful things
and touching you
Yeah, for
no
sure.
I mean, I understand why you wouldn't necessarily feel active like as an activist, but sometimes like being a person of color in those spaces and being perceived and being seen, like that alone,
showing up is
that
activism.
alone.
Because I feel like drag is a cultural statement, it's an economic statement. You're just hitting everything and just putting on a wheel. I salute drag queens are like, what was it? Who said that? Drag queens are like the mascots of the LGBT movement, because just like out there, just on the front line.
on the front, like the most visible, one of the most visible.
Yeah. And there's the intersectionality, because like some are trans or some are like intersex, so like it's quite great, because lots of drag queens come from different walks of life, so it's really great.
Yes.
1000%. And just going back to what you said about not feeling like an activist, I think your representation is important, even if you were just there existing in that space. Like I know for a fact when I wanted to drag, there were times I've had someone try to do my face for drag and I didn't have the makeup for it. They made me look like a ghost, and it was disgusting.
First time in drag, that happened to me too.
And it was like, oh yeah, I've got you. I'm like, do you?
Your
do
shades
you have
are
me?
just like the right shade. Yeah, that happened to all of us.
And like even like being out and about and like doing shows, and I know some of the young queens, even at gay times, I met Cerulean for the first time, but I'd seen them performing all the plays.
I love Cerulean.
And like just absolute.
Did we see Cerulean?
We saw Cerulean at Thursdays. Yeah, we went to Thursdays.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's right. Because I was I went on random night. I was out, and a manager for Cookie. I don't know if you know Cookie.
Cookie
Kawaii was out.
Yeah, she has that violin song, and then she has like that. Yeah.
So she was here, and I was just literally like, outside of Circuit waiting for something, and two black people walk up. I'm like, you don't go here. we all know each other at this point. I'm like.
Yeah.
And then we had a moment we were talking, and it was Cookie's manager and the dancer, and we were talking shit, and we were like, we have not seen any black people here. And I'm like, well, we're out here. And like, Cookie's performing tomorrow, and they put us on the list. So we went to go see Cookie Kawaii, popped in there, and
it was so much
had
fun.
a little quick meet and greet, and it was great. And it was just one of those experiences, like, just being black is its own statement. It's like, yep, I got you, you got me.
Yeah.
We don't know each other, but we do now.
That was a funny night because I was out past my bedtime.
Yeah.
So I was
Nicole
like
went outside on a weekday.
with the gay youths of Australia.
Yeah.
Children
The
know how to
children,
turn
they were
I did not wanna go.
They were so young. They were like literally the
Like-
littlest babies. It was
Yeah.
so funny because first off, it was like a pretty fun show. But when we walked in there, I was just like, they are so freaking young. But we were still having a good time. Shout out to DJ French Princess, whoever she is.
Fresh Princess.
Oh, Fresh?
DJ
Oh, I
Fresh
thought it was
Princess.
French. I was like, oui, mon ami. She was doing it. Yes, croissant baguette. She was doing it. She was dropping the beat. I was living for it. She had it going. She was playing some Rihanna. She was playing some
Nicole,
Beyonce.
it was already so hot in there. Nicole was like, all of her jams just kept going off.
I
Nicole
was
like,
sweating
There's
before
no
Cookie even hit the
AC
stage.
in that venue.
None.
And so many bodies in there.
So many. And we were upstairs. So thankfully we were upstairs because first of all, when we walked in the door, I was like, the smell, it hit you?
It hits
The
you.
smell hits you real like
it's the
you
vomit
know,
and the carpet for me.
It is it's like somebody was burning fresh vomit candles or something like that. Fresh from Yankee Candle.
Basking in the ambience.
Oh,
Basking in the
I was
ambience.
like, this is really, I felt like back in my college days. I was like, wow, this is really a lot. Go upstairs, start dancing. Cookie comes on. She was like, I need everybody with a donkey to come to stage. I started pushing through the crowd.
Yes.
I was like, excuse me, they literally just called my name. I'm sorry, I
I've
gotta
been
go on
summoned,
stage.
move.
Got on stage, shook my ass for a bit, had a great time. Yeah, then the show ended up meeting a few girls who wanted to get a picture, and then having a conversation with them. Turns out they were Americans. I was like, oh my God, what are y'all doing here? They're like, oh, we're here on like the foreign exchange program. We're here for college. And I was like, oh, that's so great. Gave them my contact info. I was like, if you ever need anything, let me know. And then I just happened to look down at one of their necklaces, and their necklace said 2004. And I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I was like, Ri'chard, it is time to go.
I mean, it was time to go when we arrived.
2004.
2004 had me gagged. I was like, I cannot believe I'm talking to
that
someone
even legal?
who was born
I
in
mean, 2006 is legal
She
here.
was like-
2006 is legal here.
Yes,
Oh
what
my
you
God, are you
said.
serious?
Yeah, math. It's because it's 2024. 2006 is legal
Oh
here.
my God, stop.
I
Nope.
know it
Oh,
was.
no.
I was like, "This is terrible," because y'all know I'm allergic to time. Y'all know I got an allergy.
Yep.
So I just could not believe
Oh my
that. I was
God.
just like, but after that, I was like, "Yep, the night's over."
Yeah,
Thanks,
bye.
kids. And then like, then the little Australian girl that came up to us afterwards, she's like, "Oh my God, when you were dancing on stage, you were so slay."
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I mean, this whole time I'm just hearing like, Nicole, tell them about the podcast. Well,
Yeah.
tell them about the podcast.
Oh yes.
Because like we need to get those followers up.
Always working. Always working.
Always. And it's actually really funny because that was my first time back at Yaya's in years. The first, when I borrowed your wig the day that I was doing the lip sync competition, was for $1,000.
Yeah.
It was at that venue.
Oh, was it?
It was at
there.
Yaya's, so
Oh,
it was
yes.
pre-lockdown.
Yeah.
And even then, I felt old to be there. But after lockdown and the children just went feral and just mobbed, they start charging to get in because they know the kids couldn't afford drinks anywhere, and they were just wall to ceiling. I'm like, I don't feel safe here.
Yes, indeed. But the kids are still turning up and paying. So.
They are. And I was so stressed getting dressed that night because I was like, what do the youth wear? What do they wear? I was like, I was scared.
They don't wear anything.
They
these
don't.
days.
They don't. They're
wear
actually
the-
mad cash.
They
Mad
really
casual.
don't. It's like the most basic thing I've ever seen. But
Yeah.
they're not trying to impress anyone. They just put on clothes. I'm like,
I get
this
that.
is good.
Yeah,
I get that.
It's interesting.
I mean, it's a different time. We were wearing business clothes to the club back when I was going out. We were wearing peplum tops and blazers. So
Heels and everything with the belt.
She's got a business meeting after she drops it like it's hot.
the world champion
Higher
belts, like they're
layers.
so, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation champ belt.
Are you ready to twerk, brother?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Oh, but a time was had. We were dancing to Kesha. It was a vibe.
Ooh, Kesha.
I know,
throwback.
love her.
Throwback.
Shout out to Kesha.
Yes.
We know she's
If you
listening.
listening to the pod, I love you, girl.
Oh my goodness. This was a tangent that we went on, but it doesn't matter. It's totally fine.
We love tangents.
We love a good tangent, but because of representation and like Cerulli and a lot of other POC queens that are popping up and doing their thing now, and a lot of drag kings like Justin Slicker and all these other people who are doing it now, and it feels more like it represents the community Not really at large, I suppose. I think
At large, yeah.
since we've been doing the podcast, I have been seeing a lot more brown people around. I don't know if I'm just like zoom, 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 or if they're actually just
seeing a lot. Yeah, because by the way, segue, you're really good because you picked up way because I forgot where we were right off on the tangent. You're good. Really good.
It's my job. If it wasn't me, we would have been like, oh, and this one time I had an orange. Where does oranges come from? Valencia? Oh, have you been to Spain? And it would just go for an hour, and we just did the introduction.
Oranges are actually green. They ain't even really orange. They're spray painted that way. Anywho, Cerulean. Shout out to Cerulean.
Shout out to Cerulean. But there, I don't know if people are just moving here more because I remember when I first moved here 7 years ago, we were the only black people. I was like, ah! Yeah, and now it's just like every 5 seconds I am seeing a black person, which in America it's not a rarity. But here it's just
we're
like
still giving the nod.
Yeah, we're still giving the nod. But like I'm actually getting the nod from people. Like last season I mentioned I was not getting the nod. I was getting like death threats by nodding at people I didn't know.
Yeah,
and, like people were giving like,
oh,
what the fuck?
Like,
yes.
I mean, like no. I mean, like, that's right. It feels that way if you go, oh hey, how's it going? And they give you.
Oh no, I was threatened. I wasn't joking. I was threatened. It was like, what the fuck are you looking at for nodding at someone?
Oh, that's terrible.
So like, yes, it's not always that, but that is the thing. But I'm getting nods. People are initiating and smiling, and I'm like, oh, what is this shift? Please continue. It made me feel more at home here.
Yeah, because I recall like before I came, I think I googled like drag and Melbourne because I was either coming here or Sydney. Like I applied to grad school, but something in my spirit just told me to come here instead of Sydney, which I'm so happy I did.
Oh my god,
Sydney is like, I don't think I'd be doing this well if I was over there in Sydney.
I hate that you feel that way, but at the same time, I totally get it.
Yeah, but yeah, just going on Google and just like looking up drag, I feel I just saw Out Simone and Hasha Star at the time, and then I got here and I feel Pampa Love was the only queen of color who.
Oh yeah, Pampa Love, yeah.
Yeah, out and about. But other than that, everyone was just white.
Yes.
And speaking of white, a Drag Race Down Under.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, I know. I'm gonna go fill up my cup because
I know you have opinions, especially like because I watched the first season only because like I knew some of the queens on there. I skipped the second season because it was the second season didn't really do anything for me. I watched.
Was good. I liked it.
I watched parts of 3 because Amma was on there and only Hollywood Star. But like, what do you feel about Drag Race as a whole and Drag Race Down Under specifically? Because I have my own opinions. I'm not a drag queen, so it will be with a grain of salt. Commercially, I have a feeling, but I'm not a drag queen, so I can't comment on it personally.
Drag Race is just oversaturated, and mainly it's just catering to the straights now because Drag Race is on all year round. It's exhausting, and it's kind of the same
formula.
Shit. It might be a different host with a different culture and a different language, but it's the same format. And I just feel as queer people, we're just fatigued.
Yeah,
we're very fatigued. We're just really saturated in the market. And then Down Under is just the quality is just not there. And I feel it's jarring because you have Rue and Michelle there. It would be different if hosts were from Australia or Asia, because like it's really jarring and it's weird because Rue has an Aussie husband, but she doesn't seem to like.
Does she really?
She's been with this man for 20 years. She's in Perth all the time.
Oh my god, I had no clue.
Yeah. So and then she acts so brand new, but I don't know if she's generally like unaware of Aussie culture. Or if she just doesn't care.
I think she just has an Aussie house. Like she's like, I'm here on vacation and then going back.
Which is like sad because like she knows Kath and Kim and I feel like really like well known references, but it's like really disheartening because she doesn't really seem to give a shit. And the quality is just not. I feel they're putting all the budget in Rue and Michelle's pay because the rest of the budget is just not there. And everyone keeps saying the budget. And I mean, seeing the girls, I've been kind of browsing the girls' careers. And Down Under, I mean, these girls still aren't doing much more than they were doing. Maybe I'm biased. Obviously, the girls are doing stuff in the background and working on things they can't announce yet. But I feel like people's careers just aren't really taking off the way that they thought it would. And I feel to really take off, you need to get on an international spin-off, which is what some queens are doing. I can't
Versus the World and all that jazz.
Mention some names, but yeah, some queens are doing well.
My hand's raised. I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, Nicole?
How is it that one of the famous drag queens in the world, Courtney Act, has not been incorporated into Drag Down Under?
There you have beef.
What is the what is that?
Beef. They have beef.
What is the controversy
Rue and Courtney
there?
have beef.
What is the controversy?
Do you know the
that
specifics?
doesn't even make sense.
Matthew and
I don't recall. Like I remember it's specific, but basically Courtney spoke out against Rue, which you can't do. And that basically blacklisted her from doing any more.
Did she speak out, or did she just kind of agree with a point that was brought up to her?
Either way, if you
Courtney's
say
actually a good egg, like
she is. She is. I fuck with her the long way. I fuck with her the long way.
I mean, they did mention her twice in season 3, which is like was a lot. I feel even Rue actually mentioned her name, which is a bit weird. So.
Yeah, when Down Under was about to start, it was like, oh, maybe with Courtney Act, and I think something happened around that time. Yeah. And then they had a falling out, and it was like, oh, that's never happening.
They had a falling out for a couple years ago, So
it would. I think I would have watched if it was Courtney like as the host.
Yeah,
it would be a great host.
They need to squash that beef. They need to figure something out. That is just like you have this incredible, awesome artist who has such a big platform. Why wouldn't you utilize that? You're just shooting yourself in the foot because of your pride.
Oh, also speaking, I feel Courtney was maybe one of the first drag queens I ever saw on like Australian Idol. Or maybe I saw Rue beforehand, but it didn't really click that she was a drag queen. I just thought maybe she was trans or something. But like
Courtney?
Rue. Because I think Rue was on like Sabrina or something back in the day.
She's also in Brady Bunch movie.
Sequel,
Oh my God, that's right. That's right. This
so
man.
good.
Oh
This man.
right. And Jan, you better work.
Also, Tu Wong Fu. Miss Racial Tension. Miss Racial Tension.
Oh my God, that's right.
She came down on a swing in a Confederate flag dress.
Yes, in the flaming Confederate. Oh my gosh, that was. Shout out to Tu Wong Fu.
Over here, they swear by Priscilla. Which I think Tu Wong Fu stole the concept and was released a bit earlier. But
they came within an hour of each other, but it's still straight men doing drag.
Yeah, straight men doing drag, yeah.
And I think the one thing that I'm really upset about is Wesley Snipes, in my opinion, was the best in that movie.
Miss Noxzema Jackson. Noxie
was snubbed for all the awards. Snubbed for all the awards.
Really?
Yeah.
Patrick got nominated. John Leguizamo got nominated for Little Things. It wasn't like Oscars, but there were awards, and Wesley Snipes was sniped. And I'm like, excuse you. This is possibly career ending. This is the 90s. There's a black man who was doing action movies and Blade and all. It could have ended his career, and you're like, nah.
She
we
really
good.
ate that. I mean, he really ate
yes.
that. They ate that.
Listen, absolute breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, all of it.
Yeah.
Second breakfast.
Second breakfast, because I really feel like they just really embodied those drag queens. They really did. It's kind of hard. You forget while watching it, and that to me is a sign of good acting.
And while we're talking about the movies, Priscilla versus Tu Wong Fu, not all of our listeners have watched both. I have, and I've watched both of them quite well. I do think they're very different movies.
Very different movies.
Very different.
One is exciting and the other one is not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like I'm not. Like I don't want to knock it, but it's just one of them is a bit more subdued.
Yeah. I'm like, I need to research again, but I guess the overall premise blurb, like there's 3 queens.
And they're going from point A to point B.
From point A to point B, and like they go into like
rural somewhere.
Country,
Yes.
But the thing about Priscilla is a road trip movie. They're going all the way to a place.
Yeah.
But in Tu Wong Fu, they go to a city and they join the city. And also in Tu Wong Fu, they never actually get out of drag. Some people are like, are they trans?
That's the
are they?
Tu Wong Fu is a bit,
They never get out of drag.
Lines are a bit blurred because they come across as more like trans.
Yeah, because especially Miss Chi-Chi.
Yeah. Especially Miss Chi-Chi for sure.
Like they go to the bathroom, it's like, oh, let's just freshen up. We go to the bathroom, new outfit. They're still in drag. They go to bed, they wake up in drag, and it's like,
oh my God, Anne Stockard Channing at the very my God, Grease. Adam's apple.
It's like most women don't have Adam's apple.
Most women don't have Adam's apple.
You're my lady friend with an Adam's apple. I cried. That got my whole heart. So they're both fantastic movies. I'm not going to shit on Priscilla because, especially for the 90s, like also Hugo Weaving, Guy Pearce, they were also risking their careers to do this.
Totally.
But they're very different movies. I want you to see both of them. But Tu Wong Fu has my heart only because there's a black person in it.
Always.
Very, very true. But they're both really different. That's true.
And also on the point of them never getting out of drag, how expensive is drag here? A lot of people talk about like getting on Drag Race and spending all these expensive outfits to not win, but you just dropped $10,000 minimum and all these things to look great.
These girls are spending $30K.
Yeah.
These girls are spending a lot of money. It's a gamble, and then you have to take all the content, you need to take all the photos and everything, and have it posted on
ready for when the episode drops.
I feel like the race doesn't end when you finish filming. You need to
you're supposed to keep going.
Everything. So that's why I don't think I can do it because I'll go insane personally.
I totally get that.
It'd be a lot of management. That is a lot of management to be doing. And again, if you get knocked out first episode, it's like, well,
I just invested all this money.
You'll have those outfits.
I suppose you can still use the outfits and everything, but it's just a major investment.
And then it needs to hustle hustle and work even harder if you get sent off. 'Cause I feel like if you're not top 3, especially down under, it's a bit harder to stay. I don't want anyone to come for me, but I just feel generally
I think that's because of the oversaturation mark. I will agree with you. Like I don't think that's shady.
I feel like any spin-off country, I feel if you're not top 4 unless you're a real fan favorite, it's really hard to stay.
Unless you're just hilarious. Every single thing you do is funny and it gets made into memes. You aren't going to go anywhere. And that first season of Down Under, I think the prize was $10,000. And I was just like,
that's how you really know.
You can't. No, what do you mean? Like to get there, it costs $10,000.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a shoe.
And they have to bring the production over to Sydney or something because New Zealand and Wellington, wherever they're doing it, it just isn't the
I'm
tea.
so sorry. They're doing it in Wellington?
Yeah, like some tiny shed. Some tiny shed.
It's not the shed.
They have
the judges sheep?
They have the main stage and their dressing room is literally like a partition. It's not like a big set like they have in the States. Like it's a tiny. You see how tiny the stage is. The main stage is really, really tiny.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that I personally have not taken part in Drag Race Down Under. I've just seen literally Bob the Drag Queen was her reference to it when she was like, when Bob used that clip from The Simpsons. It's like, I'm so hungry I could eat at Arby's. And they're like, wow, she must be really hungry in reference to talking. And in regards to watching Drag Race Down Under. It's like eating Arby's. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I remember that.
There have been so many memes on that. And it was just like, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
We were talking about the cost of drag and the price of things.
Right. Drag, I mean, everything is really expensive here. Just presenting as like feminine is very expensive.
Yes.
Because you have so many more steps to think.
And the pink tax. The pink tax is very real.
Yeah, the pink tax is a law. Lashes are expensive. Like everything's expensive. In the States, you can go to the drug supply store, makeup, beauty supply. You can get decent things. Maybe not the best quality, but you'll at least have more range of things. That's what I miss about America. Just having the access to
accessibility.
To shopping. Everything is there.
You already know.
Produced, but here it's like it's just not, and having to wait for it to arrive and to pay for the express shipping or shipping is like it's a pain.
Listen,
shipping's a 4-letter word on anything.
I do my big one whenever I go to the States. I text my girls, and I'm like,
ready.
"What do you need?" Like friend of the show, Mark. Shout out to them, love them very very much. When I was at the beauty supply store, and I'm like taking a video. I'm like, look at all these wigs, and they were like, "Can you pick up a wig for me?" And I was like.
So cute.
I was like, say no more, babe. And I got them this little, like, Friday night so you can go out to eat. Yes. It was giving Whitney, it's not right, but it's okay.
Yes.
It was giving Heartbreak Hotel.
Yes.
I was just like, baby, I will pack this. I was like, I will pack this up for you.
Yes.
And then I got one that was like a touch lighter, like a 613.
Yes.
Like a 613 blonde, but I gave them the honey blonde.
So you're keeping this.
Yes, I was like,
I did the work. I did the heavy lifting. It's easy.
I literally sent you pictures of all my wigs that I bought in the States. I was acting crazy in that store. I was like,
remember.
I need this one and this one and this one and this one because I just knew coming here, it's just like it's not readily available. It's not accessible. Like,
I mean, there are a few places, but obviously, like the stock just isn't.
Did you buy a new suitcase for these wigs? Did I remember that correctly?
I choose not to comment on that. Thank you very much.
That sounds like a yes.
Excess trauma, excess baggage. It's fine, girl. It's fine.
I need my wigs.
Yes.
I need my wigs.
Emotional support wigs.
Can that please be the title of the episode? Emotional support wig.
Yep, it's done.
It's just so much fun. And then I bought a wig that reminds me of Beyonce. I don't know when I'm gonna dress up like Beyonce. But I'm going to get that one. That's the one that I need to let you borrow.
There's always an opportunity. Hopefully, we'll be having some Act 2 parties or something.
Yep.
Oh my God.
This ain't Texas.
Not at all, girl.
So still on the price of things. So if someone were Melbourne-based and they were trying to buy makeup, do you have suggestions of like affordable-ish places, or is it all just you're ruined regardless?
Makeup in general is expensive, and I kind of feel if you're doing drag, well, the thing is that if you're melanated, you're just gonna have to spend a bit more.
Correct.
There's not as much access if you go to the chemist or something.
Yes.
Yep.
The shades.
Makeup, like the shades just aren't there. So you're spending a lot of money on makeup, 100 to 200, and then styling, and then outfits. You're spending over 500. You're spending a lot of money, especially if you're starting out. Like that's a lot, and tights and everything. It's expensive.
How long does the makeup last for you? Because I've literally never done my own makeup, so I'm sure there's other people who've never done their own makeup or had it on standby. Will that do a couple outfits, or just like...
it will last a while. Like it depends on how often you do drag, but it will last a while. Like it's an investment. But my makeup lasts a couple of months, but that wasn't me doing like drag every week, which I don't do anymore, thank God. So, but it will last you, but it's expensive. It's an investment.
Yeah.
For sure.
How may I ask how long your drag process takes? How long it takes for you to get ready?
I think face is maybe an hour and a half, 2, and then like I spend time with shaving and skincare and stuff beforehand, because you need to respect the canvas to get the makeup. And I have to take my time with it. So like I take hours getting ready. I just like to spend my time.
This is why drag queens are my girls, because we take our time getting ready.
Like, yes, I too am a drag queen. This is Nicole.
Don't rush me. Do not rush me.
Yeah, putting on an audio book and just zoning out. It was just like
taking my time.
Taking your time with it. Yeah, I hate to rush.
Oh my God, rushed makeup.
It's the worst, the absolute worst.
Ever.
Some girls can get painted in like 30 minutes, like an hour. I don't know how they do it. I just don't know how they do it.
I'm sorry. Wait, I'm so sorry. My mind went blank. 30 minutes to an hour?
It's Jay at Circus. She takes like half an hour to paint her face. She spends half an hour.
We need to call her. I have questions.
She's a makeup artist. She know like
she's a makeup artist.
Yeah, like,
okay, I'm gonna look her up. I'm gonna look her up.
Like,
she's a machine.
She's in the back and she'll literally be out like half an hour.
No, I've seen that. She'd be upstairs out of drag.
Like, wow. And then she's in full drag. I'm like, bitch, how?
I've seen her upstairs, and I go to like to do a bathroom break, or go like watch a show, and she come down. She's what the fuck? I just saw you upstairs.
Amazing.
There's 2 of them.
So good.
Yeah.
I wish it would take me 30 minutes to do anything.
As someone who's usually waiting for Nicole, I know that's not possible.
30 minutes is not in my repertoire.
She can't even spell it.
I can't even.
Another time blind person on the show, everyone.
Exactly.
Anyway. So, like, you said you would take a couple hours to get ready. What are Melbourne gigs paying on average? Like, obviously... Yep.
Oh, not the laughter. Yep. Not the laughter.
I asked this.
Not the laughter.
Melbourne, I mean, because there's no tipping culture, I miss, because I started drag in the States, so like...
Damn.
Just collecting tips and touching audience members, just having fun. And because there's no tipping culture, queens don't like to break the fourth wall. They just like to like, stay on stage and perform the spot number. But gigs usually don't pay that much. So I feel it range from like 100 to like 200. It depends on what you do. Like some gigs are good; they pay you per spot number or something. But generally, gigs just do not pay enough. And I feel the prices have not gone up with inflation and after lockdown, because things are more expensive, but people are still getting paid the same rate that they were getting paid before COVID lockdown, which is just not right.
No,
like
everything's gone up by 30%.
Yeah, some of these baby queens are doing gigs for like $50 in drink cards, and it's like that's barely enough for your Uber ride to and from the club.
And then, like, as you just talked about what it costs to, even that initial investment, even topping things up, if you're getting like $200, your time is valuable.
Yes.
And like, even if you consider it minimum wage, $25 an hour, say you're doing minimum wage an hour, 2 hours getting ready, being there and all that. It's like, that's...
You're there for 5 hours, you're getting paid less than $5. You're getting less paid than $10 an hour or something if you break it down. And some of these queens are just not getting paid enough. And I feel this industry in general is just shortchanging queens, because I feel like it's a law, especially if you're investing your time and money. Some of these girls are creating outfits, making mixes, styling their own wigs.
Yeah.
I support them, but I outsource almost everything because I don't have time, because I also...
For real.
Time is also money, yep.
I work full time. I can hand the girls to do this full time, because like it's hard work. These girls are doing hen's party, they're hosting, they're doing wedding parties, everything.
Drag brunches, all of the things.
Brunches.
Everything, trivia, bingo, all that stuff.
Lord.
It's a lot. It's a hard slog.
I wouldn't blow my nose with $50. I don't even know what...
$50.
Absolutely not.
Wow.
And like 3 or 4 drink cards, and that's all they get for the night.
Oh my God. And then with outsourcing your materials and everything, how long did it take for you to build your team?
My team.
Yeah, like the people,
Yeah, it's like my team.
people who help you, the people that you can
like
count
your regular.
on.
I might get my wigs from so and so. I get my things from so and so.
Yes, I feel.
Because I mean, that's your team, and they're the ones helping you out.
I mean, like, there's lots of people who are willing to help you. Obviously, you have to pay them and stuff like that. But it's great. Like I do have a great team of people who I've just met through the scene or through apps and stuff, and all let's learn from word of mouth. So it's great. And I feel like Courtney said over here she was a big fish in a small pond, and then she moved over to the States and she was a small fish in a big pond. And I kind of feel like in America there's a lot more competition. You have more stages and everything. This industry and the entertainment scene is so much bigger, and they have like 50 different states who each are their own
doing their own thing as well.
Which have their own scene.
Like basically just 6 states, and there's only so many queer clubs that you can go to.
Yeah, and you pretty much start knowing each other. I think that's really similar to, I was talking to someone about this for our podcast, like if we were doing this in America, what the concept be of someone in Australia, like, oh, this is the American lifestyle. There's not really going to be people caring about that because it's probably done a million times. There's a million podcasts in America, but this is not happening here.
This not happening,
and like, while I know we're great and it's going to be something incredible, if we were in America, it would be a lot harder to do this exact same thing, to get people to pay attention or get people to sit down like, oh, I'm curious. I want to, because it's not being done. And America being oversaturated.
I was going to say, talk about oversaturation. Everybody and their mama got a podcast over there right now. I actually think they need to start taking back podcast equipment from people over there. Dumbass ideas. I'm dead serious.
People are just talking. I'm like, are people listening to this? I guess I don't know. Or maybe they just record content and just post snippets and like that's what gets viral. But everybody and their uncle has
for real, and some of the worst dusty ass opinions. And I'm like, fuck off, man.
It's crazy, but that is the world we live in at the moment.
It is. So like, but I guess it actually loops back to the beginning where we were saying you were the best drag queen in Melbourne, which still stand by it. I'll stand on that.
Period.
But it's always just, it's your perspective. It's an opinion. Opinion. A word of the day once again is opinion. But there's always room to improve. But there's always someone who is, I don't want to say worse than you, but worse than you. And it's just like,
name them. No, kidding.
Name them. It's like, I'm trying to name them.
I'm just kidding. I'm being messy. But it is funny to see because I felt like when I first came here and I started seeing drag shows, because I was moving here from New York, where drag is like, it's like F1. Like it is the highest level, insane. The looks and the artistry and the creative. You can't even believe what it is that you're witnessing. And then you come here and I mean like, okay, I'm being a bit shady right now. However, the level of effort, like, I mean, yes, do what you can with what you got, but sometimes the level of effort is just like, whatever. Maybe I'll do the same dance routine to this. Maybe I'll learn some of the words. Maybe.
Yes, we've all seen those.
Yeah. I probably can't come against the outfits too much just because, as we said, the cost of things is like really
I think it's a chicken
here.
or an egg situation. Is it lack of effort because they're not being paid what they're worth, or they're not being paid what worth because they're not doing anything? It's like it's. I think it is which came first. If I'm getting paid nothing, you're not getting anything from me. Why?
Exactly.
For why?
Also, it's also catch too, but also just white mediocrity is a thing. Let's just.
Yep. Go on.
Let's just be real.
It is true.
I mean, some girls can get away with doing the bare minimum and their friends and everything. It's be like, oh my God, she's everything. She's slaying. But in reality, she's just not. She's not turning the party, and you have all these other white queens who are busting their ass and not getting as much clout or as much attention as they should just because they're a different color. I kind of feel people like to support the people who they can emulate or they can hate themselves as. And I kind of feel the same with any of our favorite female artists. I kind of feel like their white contemporaries just have a lot more clout here, or they get a lot more attention, especially here because white Australia, the population is mainly white. So like your Dua Lipas, your Taylor Swifts, your Pinks, I don't mind them, but like
not my cup of tea. But
if the song comes on, I'll do it.
They get out, like they come and tour here, they sell out. And you have Janet came here and she did R&B Fridays though. But I don't think it's so. I'm like, it's Janet Jackson.
It's Janet.
She should have her own.
What, like, yeah, she should have her own night.
Yeah,
she shouldn't be doing R&B Fridays,
agree.
and it's so crazy.
It's
and, like,
insane.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's really like this. Or like when I go to the toy store, because I collect Barbies, so just seeing the black Barbie just still on the shelves because she's not selling out, and which is also really hard to find here. Finding black dolls,
Yeah,
bring everything.
yeah.
So this is. I feel like we need to try harder just to be seen. I feel, especially because things are a bit toxic in these queer circles. Everybody's pretending that they're inclusive and woke and putting code words on their social medias or using
what code?
words.
What code word this is?
Like norm. Albin norm and other things, and it's just her choose signaling because they're not really.
Yeah, they're not walking the walk.
They're not really about it.
Yeah, which happens a lot. Yeah.
So I have a mild conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
So within the drag community here, are there certain queens that if you cross them, then you're done?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm
like personal beef or something. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought because like a few years ago, I'm not gonna say. Actually, I will say no.
Yes.
You can bleep out the name if you want. I mean,
Correct, exactly.
Yeah,
We sure can.
and it's like, well, so there was a time. Remember penicillin?
All this laughter.
yeah. Oh my god. Yes.
Well, so I remember when they used to come to the 86, it was Penicillin and Amina J. They'd always work together.
Yeah,
And I just remember there was like some trip or something, and there must have been a fallout. Penny never did drag again. I didn't see her do drag, and I still see her out of drag out and about. But Amina J is booking all these things. But what happened? Y'all were a duo, and like no one would say anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hello? Yep. It's like no one sees it, no one's asking.
Yeah, I mean, you see that with friend groups. I feel people tend to book. I mean, I understand having my own night. It's easier to book your friends or people you feel comfortable with because like when you're alone with this person in the dressing room, it can be awkward if you're not cool with them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it might be great
on stage.
might be good on stage, but so I kind of understand trying to book people from like a business perspective and from a hosting personal perspective because you're trying to have to balance the two because it's a hard slog. You need to be comfortable with the person because sometimes you're dealing with really toxic audiences and crowds. Like
if they're giving you nothing, you need you need that girl.
Don't know how to act. You've had some people who have their temporal lobes matured during lockdown and then they come outside and they don't know how to act.
Yep.
It's hard, and sometimes people tend to book their family or their drag family or whatever, and it might seem redundant from the audience perspective, but I understand what they're coming from, but I also understand how maybe businesses might want to go in a different direction or might want to have a more diverse or more of a rotating cast or something like that. But it's hard out there. It's a hard slog.
I want to add a bit to how crazy these audiences are. I need
Go on.
To,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think you were with me, Ri'chard.
I usually am.
We went to usually.
If Nicole's outside.
If I'm outside, it's usually with Ri'chard.
I probably saw you like we go just wondering.
Yeah.
Fun.
We were at Circuit. I think it was a Saturday night. I'm pretty sure.
Saturdays can be rough.
And then the girls went on. They performed. They did their big one. I think it may have been Tongue in Cheek. I think she may have performed, and I think she may have performed a Nicki song, if my brain remembers correctly. I think so. Shout out to her because I really enjoyed that. I'm still allegedly not a barb.
Yeah, of course not.
I'm not. I handed in my membership.
I'm leaving that in the edit.
I did. After the show took place, I'm trying to paint a picture for our audience where the stage is. You walk in the front door, and then the bar is along like the bigger wall, and then the stage is on the other side. And then right there is like this little dressing room that they've built for the drag queens. That, if you could even call it that.
Yeah, it's
air quotes,
yes.
because that's like, I looked and I was like, oh, that's what they got to get dressed in? My God, that might as well be a shower curtain.
And sometimes there's 5 of them, and then like, how did you Tetris your way through this?
Dressing rooms in clubs in general are just an issue.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have space to get ready, especially if you start sweating and you're trying to do your makeup. Listen, it's felt. So the little shack that they've built for the drag queens to get ready in. After the show, I saw a group of people go inside of the dressing room, and I was just like, I don't think they're queens or anything like that. And I think we went to go tell our friend Gavin, shout out to Gavin. I was like, Babe, I think there are people in the dressing room. I don't know, and I don't think they're associated with the show.
Yeah.
I think Gavin went in himself. I can't remember. But they went in, and these people had broken into the dressing room and were using all the drag queens' makeup on their faces, writing on the mirrors. They're like, oh my God, we're just being so funny and so random right now. And they're like literally touching all their... No. I'm as a heart attack.
That is
as
one of my worst fears. Oh my God.
Literally going and using their makeup, thinking that they're being funny and just hilarious, and like children. Like acting like children. I wouldn't touch something that's not mine, let alone use something as non-hygienic as somebody else's makeup.
Yep.
Exactly.
What is wrong with these people?
I remember that vividly. So after they went in, they were in there for a while. That's not all right. Because sometimes drag bring their friends who carry their bags. But I knew the queens on, and I've never seen them as that accessory. I'm like, we got to do something. So Gavin goes over there, is like, hey, you got to get up, whatever. And one of them went to the stage to like avoid him. Yeah. And like Gavin's like, there's a drink sitting at the stage. Like, Gavin just like threw the drink in his face, and then security threw him out.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Gavin is G.
Yes, we love Gavin. We love little baby Gavin.
It was fantastic, but no, absolute trash. Like,
so rude.
So the frontal lobe thing, have seen it, have witnessed it.
Yeah, after lockdown, I'm helping. Like, people just don't know how to act. It's also one of the reasons why I stepped down, because audiences they're so hard to please now. They just give you nothing. It's like, I'm not on TV. I'm right here.
I can hear you.
Like, you need to give us energy.
You're sitting on the front row. You're texting,
like,
and I'm like,
or at least
my biggest
tip.
gripe.
Like, it's great when you get tipped occasionally. People feel weird about it. Like, here's a 50. I'm like, thank you. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's like, that's half what I'm paid today.
I hate it when the girls come from Drag Race. So these fans are just watching videos on YouTube. So they're seeing these girls getting tipped. And these audience members are tipping these girls 50s and 100s.
Yeah.
And these girls are getting an all-paid trip. Don't tip them. Tip the local girls in the show with her. And sometimes I said that, like, don't tip me, like, tip somebody else. These girls are not paying for anything. Like, they don't need your money.
Yeah.
They're just thinking it's etiquette or culture because that's how I've seen online. But like, it's just not right. But
no, that's fair. That's fair enough. Damn, that's actually making me think, wow, you know what? That is so true, because drag is expensive. Yeah. It's a very big investment on time, effort, energy, creativity.
Yes, a lot.
And literally the least you can do is tip.
That's what, I never have cash, so I just buy girls. Do you want a drink? I'm like, I buy.
Alcohol is always great, but some venues are really stingy with their drink cards. Like,
yes.
I don't drink to get crazy, but I don't want to have a limit on my drinks. Please.
Yeah.
Like,
let me get some top shelf shit.
I need alcohol to be in the mood to be here. So
correct.
2 drinks make me a normal person first, please.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I need a shot before like each spot number or something at least. But yeah, everything's a bit different after lockdown. So
I get it, babe. No, the audiences here can be quite the challenge. I've griped about on the show a few times of going out to a place where there's live music playing and people just feel this innate need to just talk about their day and talk about whatever they've got going on. And I'm just like, you paid money to be here. You bought drinks to be here. An artist is performing and you rather talk about your day at work. That doesn't even make sense to me. Or that sometimes some of the audience members, they give nothing. They don't even clap.
Yeah, they don't
even clap. They don't dance. They just like
glass fish eyes.
Yeah.
They're just staring at you. And it's just like, don't you feel something? Don't you want to enjoy it?
Emotion, yeah.
Give a whoop, give a woo, clack a fan, something.
Something, yeah. I don't know. Is that on America? I don't know. Or it's like, I don't know. They just don't know. Or they wait until the end because they're used to watching with stage play or something. Well, it's only polite to clap at the very end.
Yeah, you don't want to. If you're clapping out during the song, you're gonna stand out. And it's tall poppy syndrome again. It's like, oh, why are you making so much extra noise?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, enjoy the show or whatever it is.
Like the way they like to bastardize Tina Turner here, like especially in drag, because like, blackface with the Hyundai set, like people go off for Tina, and I didn't understand why. It was the NRL thing, because like and also Tina, she's entrenched in straight culture because it's sport. But when people do Tina in the club, it's like ooh, and also with the fake tanning and stuff like that, or like having a show based on like a black queen, a black pop star, and having no people of color in the cast.
Yep.
And no padding, no nothing, but then you hire an interstate queen for a Lady Gaga night instead. Like, the math doesn't math. But yeah, just the way they love Tina Turner here is a very upfront, it was a very is very kind of shocking at
The
first.
Nutbush still gets me. The Nutbush still gets me. The fact they made a dance to the Nutbush. One, I didn't know that song in America. I did not know.
You didn't? I
did not know the Nutbush.
I kind of know the chorus or that's it, but I don't know it off by heart.
I'm an avid Tina Turner fan, but I think that she's like the only like black artist
like the
that
main
gets
black
like
artist that everybody
gets
loves.
like like people like love her, and it's just I wish I could explain it. I mean, like because I know that she had that duet with Jimmy Barnes, and Jimmy Barnes is a big Australian rock singer kind of thing here. I've never really listened to any of his music, but
because like she did like the 1994 and 1992, she performed like the grand final.
And they were just like she's really great. They love her. They go up. They go up for her. I was actually
the best. Like they literally go off.
I'm actually been asked to perform a Tina Turner tribute, like with a band kind of thing. They like want me to do it, and I'm like,
know when you're doing it, girl.
Absolutely will. Because I was like, I will gladly do it because Tina just sang from her soul. She had this deep vessel within her, and I'm not saying that I have that same exact thing, but there's a certain level of attention that should be paid while singing her. They'll get somebody who, I don't know, I guess it's just like watching palm-colored people sing, and I'm telling you from Dreamgirls, and they're like, and I'm telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I've ever known.
Okay, Annie, please stop. The sun will come out. You had your questions because we do still have the time.
I do. Okay, so I wanted to get personal, and I wanted to know what was your drag queen name? How did you get the inspiration for it?
Oh, D Flowers. I don't know. I was a little pun because like I had like my drag family in the States, like my sister Chandelier, because like she's like 6'6" out of drag.
Dang,
so,
go on Chandelier.
Yeah, so,
Chandelier.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Chandelier. Oh, it's a pun.
It took me a while to get the elevator to the top.
I was honestly just waiting. I was like, Nicole's gonna get this in 3, 2. There it is.
From the chandelier.
Right. No, I just love because there are still some names that I just hear. I'm like, and I don't realize it's the pun. I'm like, oh, it's a pun because like I'm just so because like
we take our time.
Courtney Act doesn't really make sense unless you're speaking in the Aussie accent, though.
Don't. If I find out that her name
Caught in the act.
Oh, oh my, Courtney Act. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
I was today years old.
Okay, Courtney has to listen to this.
Courtney, I didn't name Courtney Act. Oh my God.
Exactly. I love that. That's gold. That's gold. Yeah, so good. So
amazing.
So I'm so sorry, honey.
No, you're fine. I love it.
So you were saying
it was just like a little pun because, like, I think it was a version at the time. Still, I'm like, D Flowers.
D Flowers.
Yes, D Flowers.
Yeah.
This gremlin cackle is gonna like break everyone's ears.
To be D Flowers. Oh my God, I'm learning so much today.
Caught in the act of being D Flowers.
Oh my God, I'm learning so much.
Oh shit.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's so funny. Okay, and then my last question was going to be favorite songs to perform to.
Oh.
Or artists. If it's too hard to nail down a song, I'm happy to do.
Oh yeah, because I like doing like live.
Yes. I've noticed that about you.
That was like the
live, and Beyonce is her live performances are like so. Beyonce is the best. Like,
Period.
She holds back in the studio and on stage she always like gives it. So
she gives it all.
Anything live by Beyonce,
I love it.
Anything live by Kylie, like this. There's other artists who do really good live stuff as well. Tina does great live stuff. I just like I like anything live. Some artists just aren't as good, but
why'd you talk to Dula Peep? Dula Peep?
I don't mind Dula Peep. Like she's trying. She's trying.
She means well. It's what you just said. Well. You just said she means well.
I don't mind her.
I think she took some constructive criticism.
Yeah, she's actually improving. Yeah, somewhat.
But do you want to give us your socials so our fans who don't already follow you, because most of them should, but if they don't follow you, do you want to give it a little shout and so that we can get you out there?
I'm on Instagram under Tavia Flores, so DIVYAFLOREZ, and I'm also on Facebook as well. I mainly just post memes. I'm like the meme supreme, so
exactly, and it's all quality content. It's quality content, y'all.
Has emerged.
If you're ever just sitting around like, I want to see some funny shit, just hop over to D Flowers' page. It'll be 47 stories, but you'll be giggling.
I've been cutting back. I feel I've saturated them. I'll get to
no such thing. Some people will be posting their foot pictures, trying to get like, hey, look at my foot cream.
Wait, hold up now.
Free? For free?
No.
To freedom?
No free feet pics.
Exactly.
Girl, none whatsoever. You have to pay for that, girl.
But again, thank you so much for being here. This has been an absolute blast. I know our listeners will love it. I loved it.
Yes, we love you. And thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story.
I'm such a fan of the show. I normally don't like podcasts, but I'm actually I'm enjoying just hearing the two of you shit talk. I love it. It's just so cute. I love it.
Thank you so much. Well, we will continue to shit talk for as long as the library will let us.
As long as there's air in our lungs.
The library is always open for y'all.
Yes. Reading is what?
Fundamental.
Exactly. But until next time, I'm Ri'chard.
And I'm Nicole.
And this has been Melanated in Melbourne.
See ya.
Bye.
This has been Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast that analyzes the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. Visit us at melanatedinmelbourne.com or follow us on Instagram to send us your comments or questions. Thank you for listening.